Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window. And hot today, record-setting heat for us here in the Wenatchee area and many locations across north central Washington. This is that hot shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, and lots of blue sky out there and just downright hot temperatures. We are still under a very hot heat effective warning right now. In fact, it's going to last right through Saturday. So what you can do, drink plenty of water or a sports drink if you are outside. Wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. Tell you what, the best advice would be just to stay inside. And if you do, get close to that air conditioning. I do want to mention there are cooling stations at the North Central Washington Library locations all around our area. And we'll talk much more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Quick action by firefighters stopped a fire from spreading last night off Highway 97A near Knapps Tunnel. The city of Wenatchee is pursuing a noise violation complaint against a major local church and appealing a judge's decision to throw it out. And both the Wenatchee Valley's congressional representatives took turns today blasting the Veterans Affairs Administration for its failed rollout of a new healthcare management system. But first, our top story tonight. 6 vehicles were involved in a wreck early yesterday afternoon on Highway 281 near the Interstate 90 interchange. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said some of the people in the vehicles needed to be transported to the hospital, but there were no life-threatening injuries. That stretch of highway leading to and from Quincy and Wenatchee off of I-90 was closed for several hours following the accident. The Washington State Patrol has not yet provided details on the wreck, but photos from the Sheriff's Office show a crumpled Plymouth Saturn that apparently collided with a semi and a pickup and SUV that were also involved. Quick action by firefighters stopped a fire from spreading last night off Highway 97A near Knapps Tunnel. The fire was reported just before 8:30 p.m. with firefighters from both Chelan and Eniat responding. Chelan Fire and Rescue said the person reporting the fire said there was an explosion right before they saw smoke, but the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The fire was limited to less than an acre, and the Washington State Patrol said because of the prompt response of firefighters, it did not become necessary to shut down that highway. Well, the city of Wenatchee is pursuing a noise violation complaint against a major local church and appealing a judge's decision to throw it out. Back in March, Wenatchee's city attorney cited Grace City Church in Sunny Slope for allegedly violating the municipal noise ordinance with amplified outdoor music and presentations. Wenatchee police documented 7 noise complaints from neighbors going back through 2021. But the church argued that no police officer actually heard a noise violation, and a Chelan County District Judge dismissed the case in April. The city is now appealing the case to Superior Court, saying the dismissal took place without a court hearing. If the citation is upheld, the church could be fined up to $513. Led by Pastor Josh McPherson, Grace City frequently holds outdoor events at its church property and in the past has campaigned to exempt churches from the noise ordinance. Leaders at Grace City did not respond to a request for comment from NCWLIFE. Both the Wenatchee Valley's congressional representatives took turns today blasting the Veterans Affairs Administration for its failed rollout of a new healthcare management system. The Cerner system is used at the VA clinic in Wenatchee and throughout the Northwest. An Inspector General's report found the system has delayed care and caused actual harm to about 150 VA patients in the region. 4th District Representative Dan Newhouse said, for one thing, VA clinic staff were poorly trained in how to use Cerner.
The thing that we most often heard was that the Cerner training, and these are their words, not mine, is completely ineffective. If and when employees could get into the right training session that fit their particular responsibilities and jobs, the instructors didn't know much about the system that they were trying to demonstrate. We know from the reports that we've heard through OIG that the VA's trying to been evaluating the flaws in the training for, gosh, at least a year, and ordering changes. But it doesn't seem like that those changes have made any significant improvements, at least not the folks that are on the ground trying to make this all work.
The community-based outpatient clinic in Wenatchee, which is connected to Man-Grant staff, serves veterans in my district in rural north central Washington. Next year, as you know, the system is slated for deployment in the greater Puget Sound to facilities in Tacoma and Seattle, which offer even more specialty services which generally require higher complexity of care, more orders, and a host of providers shared across the state. And I'm really concerned about these rollouts. Like we've seen in multiple IG reports about the program in Eastern Washington since its rollout. Most recently, a report, as you've heard, found almost 150 cases of harm, including 2 cases of severe harm, due to orders for everything from labs and x-rays to follow-up appointments being lost in EHR queues that weren't being checked. And I've been listening and understand you're improving, but there are still many there, and it's troubling to have a box that you have to purposely go check at the end of the day. Upon inspection, over 11,000 orders in less than a year from physicians were not acted on in a timely manner, and that's a lot of orders.
When we come back, we'll feature the third and final candidate vying for the position of Chelan County Clerk. Incumbent Democratic U.S. Senator Patty Murray has raised far and away more campaign money than any other candidate in the state heading into this year's election. And we'll bring you part 2 of our interview with an Afghan refugee now living in Wenatchee. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Let Mary Maids custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maids cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it if you only had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties. Mary Maids, let us help.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Welcome back. In another news, the Chelan County Clerk's Office is up for election in a 3-way race with the top 2 winners in Tuesday's primary going on to the general election in November. Marty Young of Peshastin is one of 2 Republican candidates in that race. He's the secretary of the Chelan County Republican Central Committee. Young spoke with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins as the August 2nd ballot deadline approaches.
Professionally, right now, I am a Department of Social and Health Services Work First program specialist. I help mainly single mothers try and get back on their feet and establish to support themselves and their families. And it's a very fulfilling job.
And you're also involved in union organization within DSHS, correct?
Yes. The state union's called the Washington State Federation of Employees. I'm on the executive board there. The state is the executive board. and also the local chapter treasurer.
What made you think that, looking at this office, you might like to take on that challenge of, being that key record keeper and being that point of contact for the public?
From my experience working at the Department of Social and Health Services, DSHS, we handle a ton of records every day. All of them high security, high profile records that we need to maintain security of, and it's a paperless office, so I'm familiar with that. I see it as a shift. I don't see it as a big change. So I think we read the laws, we follow the laws at DSHS also. I think it'll be an easy, smooth transition for me.
In your candidate statement when you were running for Cascade School District, Marty, you said the school board must emphasize getting students up to their age respective grade levels and push back on resources spent on mandated indoctrinations. Can you go back to that race and tell me what you meant by mandated indoctrinations? What did you object to?
What I was concerned with is the comprehensive sex education and the critical race theory training. Those are the things that I just don't feel have a place in a public education.
Well, Marty, the Chelan County Clerk's Office is not it's partisan, but almost not partisan. It's a job for an administrator. It's not necessarily a job for a policymaker. So
That's true.
Do you see areas in the Chelan County Clerk's Office that you would want to change based on ideology?
I don't, like you say, it's a partisan position, but really there's no place for politics in the office. The duties are purely dictated by law, so it's pretty nonpartisan. The conservative versus liberal mindset, I think, boils down to budgeting and administrating the funds and running the office that way.
Incumbent Democratic U.S. Senator Patty Murray has raised far and away more campaign money than any other candidate in the state heading into this year's election. Federal Elections Commission reports show Murray as having raised $14.5 million in her re-election bid. Murray, who has held the seat since 1992, faces 13 challengers on the primary ballot, with Republican Tiffany Smiley easily the biggest fundraiser among that group with just over $7 million. In the hotly contested 8th congressional district race, incumbent Democrat Kim Schreier continues to lead the way in fundraising by a large margin. The latest FEC reports show Schreier with more than $6 million. There are 3 Republican challengers in the 8th district race, closely bunched when it comes to fundraising. Jesse Jensen, who was defeated by Schreier 2 years ago in the general election, has raised just over $1 million. Matt Larkin, who did not advance past the primary in 2020, has raised $970,000, while King County Council member Reagan Dunn follows closely behind with $832,000. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Pause for Pets feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, we meet a cat named Layla.
Hi everyone, my name is Haley and I'm with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and with me this week is Layla. Layla is a very sweet Siamese girl. She's actually pretty quiet for a Siamese. She has talked a little bit in like small chirps and things, but other than that, she's like not extremely vocal that we've noticed here in the shelter. Some of her favorite things include walking around. She, in a previous home, really liked going outside, so she would probably be best as an indoor-outdoor cat if you can provide that for her. Of course, providing the outside time after you've had her for a while, so that way she always knows where home is. She loves food. As you can see, she's a little bit thicker, but that's not slowing her down any. She still has a healthy weight, and we're not concerned about it. Layla does need to be the only pet in the home. She does not do well with other cats or dogs, and she definitely lets you know she would like to be your one and only. But even though you couldn't have any other animals, she gives enough love for you. If you are interested in meeting Layla, you can come on down to our shelter. We are open 6 days a week. We are closed Wednesdays, but we are open from 11 to 6 and closed 1:30 to 2:30 for quiet time.
Give them a call.
Let's take a look now at your north central Washington weather forecast. Steaming hot all across north central Washington today. In fact, a record-setting day for many of us, including right here in Wenatchee, 106 degrees unofficially, and that breaks our record set back in 1998 at 105. Our normal should be 90 right now. 75 was our overnight low this morning, so we were off to a warm start already. 64 is normal. 52, our record low set back in 1995. Still at 5.76 inches of precip since the first of the year. Sunrise 5:34 and the sun sets tonight at 8:40. I wish I could tell you you're going to see some relief tomorrow, but I just can't do that. In fact, we're even going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. 107s for Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy. Wenatchee, we should see 107. This will be record highs once again all across north central Washington. 104 degrees in Ellensburg, 105 in Kashmir, and 104 degrees in Entiat. Our excessive heat warning running right through Saturday, so keep that in mind. Tonight, mostly clear. Maybe some breezes out there to help cool things off a bit, but not much. We're expecting lows tonight in the upper 70s for Friday. We just talked about it. Record highs are possible anywhere between 105 and 110 degrees all across central and eastern Washington. Saturday could be just as hot, maybe some more records. Our record tomorrow and on Saturday are 105, so it looks like we will set a couple of records. Still hot for Sunday, but a little better with highs around 104 degrees. And then as we get into next week, the relief begins. We'll see, hello August. August 1st on Monday, sunny and breezy, a little bit cooler. It's because of this area of low pressure. It's going to slide down the backside of that ridge, and that'll bring some winds to us on Monday. Also, breezy conditions on Tuesday, but look at the high temperatures. Upper 80s for highs. We are actually going to be below normal as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, downright windy, I think, especially in the afternoon, right smack dab in central Washington. Going to be a mild one, though, on Wednesday with, once again, high temperatures into the upper 80s. Few more clouds around, too, and maybe some showers down in southern Washington. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. Tonight, 77 for our overnight low, 107 tomorrow, which would be a record. 106 expected on Saturday. That too would be a new record high. And then a slow cool down. A big jump though down in temperatures from Sunday into Monday. 94 for Monday, 88 your high on Tuesday, and mostly sunny with wind on Wednesday and 87 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday. Seattle got out the brooms yesterday for Texas in a 4-2 win at T-Mobile Park. Seattle got an early lead thanks to Sam Haggerty, but the day belonged to Julio Rodriguez once again as he came through with a 3-run home run to give the Mariners the victory.
That's going to drop down, and JP's going to score, and the Mariners have a 1-0 lead. Frazier's going to get his way to third. Haggerty digging for second. He's in there. Hustle double RBI. Sam Haggerty, 1-0 Mariners. 3-0, and that's turned down the third baseline. That's a base hit. Around third, Garcia, he'll score. Culberson with the RBI double, and he's tied this game at 1.
I think she caught it, though.
I think so. Heim hits this one out into left. That's a base hit. Gets Hernandez to the plate. Heim goes for second, and he'll be in there with the RBI double. And the Rangers have their first lead this afternoon.
His throw was not bad. It was just offline. 1-1.
That will plenty do it. Say goodbye. Julio off the scoreboard. A 3-run jack, and the Mariners have a 4-2 lead. What a world to live in with Julio Rodriguez. Wow, his 18th home run. 3 more RBIs. Cha-ching, his 56th, and the Mariners have rallied once again.
There's the 0-1.
Slow ground ball, Adam Frazier. Scoop, throw, got him. Mariners sweep the Texas Rangers.
Nice game yesterday. Marco Gonzalez gave Seattle's bullpen a much-needed rest, lasting 7 innings to get the win. Manager Scott Service says his outing and Julio's heroics were much appreciated.
We really needed starter to go deep today. Super efficient. Thought he was right on point right from the get-go. Obviously, he gave up a couple runs, but getting through 7 innings was huge based on kind of where we're at in the bullpen today. So great job by him. Offensively, it was a struggle. John Gray was on top of his game. That's really good stuff. And he's been throwing the ball great. Electric fastball. He's got one of the better sliders in the league, and we certainly saw a lot of them today. And he made very few mistakes, but when he did make one, we took advantage of it, and Julio did not miss it. So what can you say? That guy's had some kind of season. And I keep talking about the fun, the joy he plays with. But, as he's standing there ready to go up for that at-bat before that, he says, I had to switch bats. I said, I got a new one. He said, yeah, the other one's sleeping. It's a day game. He's not ready to go. He took a new bat up there and hit a 3-run homer. That's Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's Julio. Seattle's in Houston today to begin a 4-game series with the Astros. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Federal Way's Jansen Junk. Now, there's a great name for a pitcher. Jansen Junk struck out 8 over 5 innings, combined with 4 relievers to shut out Kansas City 4-0 yesterday. Phil Gosselin picked up 2 hits and an RBI for the Angels in the win. Oakland helped out the Mariner cause by completed a 3-game sweep of Houston yesterday, winning 4-2. Stephen Voigt and Stephen Piscotty hit back-to-back homers in the second for the A's to get the win. Mariners are a half game back of Toronto, the top the wild card playoff spots as of yesterday. Tampa Bay stayed close with a 6-4 win over Baltimore. Cleveland is 2.5 games back after a 7-6 win over Boston. Chicago dropped to 4 games back with a 6-5 loss to the Rockies. Well, the Apple Sox dropped the middle game of a 3-game set to Cowlitz last night by a score of 10-4. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, says this was one that was out of reach early with the Black Bears feasting on Wenatchee's starting pitching.
The Apple Sox fell 10-4 on Wednesday night in the second game of their 3-game set against the Cowlitz Black Bears. Wenatchee trailed 7-0 after 3.5 innings and really was never able to get close enough after that. They did have a couple of innings where they loaded up the bases, but were able to get no more than 1 run in either of those frames. Iva Arquette led the way offensively, driving in 2 runs and going 3 for 4 with a walk, as he now leads the Apple Sox with 32 runs driven in this summer. The Apple Sox will look to take the rubber match of the series as they face the Black Bears at 7:05 p.m. on Thursday night. It's a Throwback Thursday with $2 general admission tickets available for purchase at saferseating.com. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. Other West Coast League action last night. Port Angeles swept a doubleheader in Kelowna 5-3 and 4-0. Corvallis edged Springfield 9-6. Edmonton shut out Kamloops 1-0. Nanaimo edged Bellingham 8-7. Bend stopped Ridgefield 7-3. Portland blanked Walla Walla 2-0. And the Northwest Honkers beat Victoria 8-4 in a non-league game. Wenatchee's lead in the North remains a game over Bellingham and Edmonton and 2.5 in front of Victoria. Well, the Seahawks training camp is underway in Renton with players taking to the field for the first time yesterday. Coach Pete Carroll says it's an opportunity for players to show what they have and that they want to compete for a position.
It's a big op to finally get going. I'm really thrilled about the energy that these guys have brought. The coaches did a really good job to get us to this point, so we're off and flying, and away we go. Every one of these days are huge. Every one of the preseason games are huge. We're going to need all of the time to make the competitions come to light, and so we can see who's who and who can take spots, and if guys can hold their spots and all that. So it's the theme is about the competition, and we'll see what it takes us to. And really excited about how fast we are. It's a very, very fast team. I don't know if we've been faster, and we'll see if we can make that be obvious in how we use it in all different aspects.
Chris Carson had to retire from football after injuring his neck last season, requiring surgery. Carroll says they'd hoped he would be able to bounce back this season.
It was a shame, for the whole off season, and we were talking to Chris the whole time, and and we were all trying to keep a really good thought that it was going to, maybe come through and change it. And each one of the marker days, that we took note, it didn't change, and he didn't get better. And so the last time that we hit it was probably about a month ago, and he hadn't made any progress then. So he's had some time to process this, that it's coming. So he worked like crazy to do it. He was going for it the whole way, and but as he said yesterday, I've had time to deal with it, and I'm okay about it now. And so he's moving ahead.
Another emotional part yesterday was KJ Wright signed a 1-day contract so he could retire as a Seahawk. You can see that on our website. Training camp continues for the next month while the Seahawks prepare for the season opener September 12th against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. That's a look at sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that is going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage is brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Card Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds and more. That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. It's Apple Sox baseball live on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, I'm Kerry Condata, host of the 12th District TV show right here on the NCWLIFE channel. We're available 5 times a week on air and also at ncwlife.com streaming. You can even find our archives for older shows. We cover business and politics like nobody else. From an insider's perspective, someone that's been self-employed for 30 years and in the legislature for 16 years. You'll get it all right here every week on the 12th District. Won't you join us?